Welcome to WOW, the War on Wellness. Today we're going to talk about 3 reasons industries do not care about your health and wellness. First, I'm going to share with you my intro video for those of you who may not know me as well. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Thank you for joining. So I am here. Let's see, I'm on Facebook and I see that we have on Instagram. Very good. And in addition to that, see, I'm on YouTube. Now let me know. Someone said that they hear an echo, 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 echo. Let me know if that is the case for you. I am, yes, very good. So, okay, very good. I want to make sure that you are definitely hearing what I am doing because this is so vital and so important. Great, wonderful. Okay, so today we're talking about 3 reasons that the industries care nothing about your health. And this is the war on wellness because there is a war against our wellness. And I want to make sure that I have my Facebook family in the room. I see my Facebook group is in the room. Very good. Now I want to make sure that my Facebook family, my Facebook page is also in the room. Very good. I just want to make sure everybody's here because it is so very important that we understand and that we know why we shouldn't just trust for the sake of trusting, because there are industries and systems that are out there, and they're really like there's a documentary out there called "They're Trying to Kill Us." Yeah, well, that is pretty much true because if we follow Pied Piper style, we will definitely unalive ourselves before our time. Because a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to die of something. Might as well go down happy. But why die before your time? I mean, my goodness. Or why not even, okay, maybe you won't die. Maybe you'll just be less able bodied. I mean, any of that is not what we want. So we're talking about 3 reasons industries do not care about your health. And I want you to share this with others because it's so important. There's somebody out there that you love who is misinformed and maybe needs to be informed. So let them know that Plant Based Penny is talking about it because it is vitally important to us. So let's dive right in. So I'll tell you, I bought a new car. Well, it's new to me, okay? And one of the things that we do when we buy a new car is we try to keep it clean. We check the oil. We make sure that we put the right gas in it. We make sure that the fluid levels are where they need to be. And why is this? Well, in my case, I had history with an old car, and the old car made it to 275,000 miles plus or minus. And how did it get there? By keeping it clean, checking the oil, making sure the right gas was in it, and that the fluid levels were where they needed to be. Why? Because I didn't want to be broken down on the side of the road. I don't want to be left to have to depend on somebody else to pull me around, or I didn't want the car to just die out before its time. If you understand what I'm saying. So it's the same thing with our bodies. Where our bodies are younger or they're older, we want to take care of them, putting the right clean foods into them, making sure that we have the right fluid levels, all of that, and not putting anything into our bodies that will cause it to break down. So I'm Penny, also known as Plant-Based Penny, and I help people move from problems to progress with plant-based and natural solutions. So we have faith, fun, and facts here on this broadcast every Wednesday. Before I get into the 3 reasons, I do want to remind you that on Sunday, April the 13th, 2025, I will be at the Meet the Author event. And let me show you that flyer. Meet the Author event. And that is going to have so many great authors who are going to be at this event. And I know a good 5 of them as well. And so I look forward to seeing them. I look forward to seeing you at the Meet the Author event. It's going to be at the ACE Center at Hermitage, right across from Hermitage High School at 12 o'clock p.m. And it lasts from about 12 to 1. So I look forward to seeing you, just so we can catch up. If I haven't seen you in a while, and if I have seen you recently, I want to see you again. Okay. So come on out, come to my table. Let's create a little buzz around the Plant-Based Penny table and ask me questions about my journey. Because the book that I will be signing the autographs for, you can get your copy of that book. And so the book is called Pearls. And Pearls is a book that I co-authored. And that particular book, it talks about wisdom and advice from emerging women leaders. And in here, it chronicles my wellness journey, and it's an analogy for when I almost unalived myself when I was living abroad in Costa Rica. So I'm sharing that with you. It is very thrilling, exciting, and engaged story. And so you want to make sure that you are there for that. Yes. So 12 o'clock Sunday at the ACE Center. And so let's get into the 3 reasons that the industry cares nothing about your health. Okay, reason number 1 is profits over people. Profits over people. The food and the drug industries are not designed for your healing. They're not designed for your healing. They are built for profit. Billions of dollars in prescription, not cures. Not billions of dollars in cures, billions of dollars in pills and prescriptions. Now, let me have this disclaimer right here and now. I am not advocating that you stop taking any prescription. Okay? Don't go out there and say that Plant-Based Penny did not say to stop taking your prescriptions. All right? I want to make that absolutely clear. So take your prescriptions, and when you improve your diet, maybe you become plant-based, then you can definitely get off of some medications. And so, as I mentioned, when I'm at Meet the Authors event, I am also going to be taking your information so that you can pre-register for my ebook. I have an ebook coming out, and that is the Plant Powered Transition. And is going to be an opportunity for you to improve your health. To improve your health. I mean, why die before your time? And let's just live as vibrantly as possible. Okay? So food companies, they sell addiction. They sell addiction, they sell colorful packaging just so that we can be drawn to that item. And it really does require discipline. I know it does on my part. I mean, I have, over the years, until I became committed to my plant-based journey, I was ebbing and flowing and up and down and cholesterol and pre-diabetes and Graves' disease and fibroid. I mean, I had so many issues. It was like a list of specialists and doctors that I was seeing. But I decided I really wanted to keep my money for myself because it was my money and I really worked hard for it. So I'd rather spend it on myself. And I was just getting tired of all the diagnoses. So there's a lot of money spent on the pharmaceutical market, and that hit $1.6 trillion in 23. $1.6 trillion. That money that most of us will not see in our lifetime, in the generations in our family will not see in our lifetime. But here's the thing. All that money spent in the pharmaceutical market, and yet diseases are not dropping. So there's not a positive correlation between the increase in prescription drugs and a decrease in disease. No, it's not decreasing, yet we have so much more technology available to us and so much more information medically. So pay attention to that. The second reason is misinformation is big business. Big business. Misinformation. When you go to the store and you see something that's labeled, it might say natural, it might say low fat, it might say healthy, but that is all marketing. It is not truth. You need to turn it over on the back, read the ingredients. You've heard me, if you've watched The War on Wellness before, you have heard me say this. Thump on that plant-based penny Bible. Read the ingredients, not the marketing information on the front of the package. And there are medical studies that are sponsored by and funded by companies that sell the solution. You know those infomercials that sometimes you get on social media and they're like talking about that they have a solution. Then at the end of it, the infomercial, they're like selling some sort of snake oil or something like that. It is similar in some of the studies. Some of the studies that are telling us not to drink water, for instance. I mean, that's like amazing to me that someone's promoting that, yet there are people who are actually believing that. Those studies, many of those studies are funded by companies that want you to drink or eat or do or take something else other than what is actually healthy for our bodies. The other point under misinformation is big business is that doctors, well, I love them and I do go to them, they are trained for treatment of symptoms, not prevention. So the misinformation keeps you dependent. I'm not saying don't go to doctors. I mean, I was camping with the youth group 2 weeks ago and I missed a step. At times, you're going to have to go see a medical professional. It happens. Things happen. So, but the misinformation keeps us confused and keeps us dependent because we just don't know which way to turn and we get bombarded with information. The third reason the industries don't care about your health is that prevention does not pay big bucks. It doesn't. It doesn't pay big bucks. Healing with plants, with whole foods, with movement, with rest. It's too simple and it's not profitable. And I can't remember where it is right now, but the Bible text that says that God uses the simple things to confound the wise. And those things are simple. And it is not profitable for so many people. So God's medicines like sunlight and herbs and water and rest, they don't have a large price tag. Well, we do buy water nowadays, but I mean, drinking water, of course, is good for our body, but there's also hydrotherapy. And I'm going to be getting my hydrotherapy on when I go to the spa on next week. But you may not do that, but maybe you may do the hot and cold contrast showers. So when you're in your shower, you turn it on hot, which is not like scorching hot, but as hot as it is comfortable, and then you turn that shower on cold and you work your way up to it. You're not going to be able to do the 3 minutes hot and then 1 minute cold, maybe initially, but maybe you do 10 seconds and 10 seconds, or maybe you work your way up to 60 seconds. So do what works for you. The fact that the industry does not care about your health, it feeds into the fact that why ancient remedies, holistic healing, grandma's remedies, which are not too far removed from some of you. You know, your grandma wasn't running up back and forth to the doctor. Her mother wasn't running back and forth to the doctor. They were using plants as medicine. And that is what Plant-Based Penny is advocating here on the War on Wellness. The natural remedies, they do still work. Right now, they're a lot of places, a lot of people, I'm really surprised sometimes that people don't know that you can do simple things like eating a lime. Okay, you may not be up to eating a lime, but maybe drinking lime water and using that as your medicines when you have the phlegm in your throat, or to just keep your levels balanced in your body. Gargling is another, gargling with warm water and salt. Using that when you're dealing with the ear, nose, and mouth, or nasal wash, it especially good right now, because right now there's a lot of pollen in the air. I mean, it is like raining pollen, at least in the United States on the East Coast where I am. And I'm in Simplicity, or right outside of Farmville, Virginia is where I am. And so it is very important that we know what these remedies are. Taking charcoal. I mean, I went to the dinner the other day and everything was vegan except for one thing, and I ate that one thing. And my system immediately told me, yeah, that doesn't agree with us. We need you to send us some charcoal. And yeah, as a result, I had to send some charcoal down. I take charcoal. So there's just simple remedies that everybody needs to have in their closet, in their pantry. And so it's going to be really important that we know what those remedies are. And so I want to remind you, earlier I mentioned the event that I'm going to be at. If you go to my website, it is there, so that in case I pass by it a little bit too fast for you, you can go to the website, which is plantbasedpennylife.com, and click on the speaking and events tab, and all the information is there. And if you want to be nosy, you can scroll back and see all the other events, the highlights of all the other events that I have participated in as well. So this is so important. I hope that you share this broadcast with your friends and your family members, because you are not meant to be lifelong customers of the sick care system. Yeah, there's a healthcare system, but it's really the sick care system. We are not meant to be lifelong customers. And so we have to fight in this war on wellness with knowledge and with action. And here, let me leave this with you. There's biblical wisdom on this as well. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, Hosea 4:6. And people kind of run past that verse. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. And we kind of concentrate on the lack of knowledge piece of it. But at the beginning of that, it says, my people, which means that we belong to someone. There was a creator of the people. And so we have a body temple that was given to us. And how we treat this body temple is saying how grateful we are for this body temple, how much we appreciate this body temple. And so that is our offering that we give back, how we treat our body temple. So make a good offering. And so remember, the industry does not care about your health because it's profit over people, misinformation is big business, and prevention doesn't pay big money. So I look forward to seeing you on Sunday at the ACE Center in Richmond, Virginia, right across from Hermitage High School. And let's get back to our roots. Let's reclaim our wellness and let's fight in this war on wellness. So thank you for joining me on YouTube. Thank you for joining me from Facebook and on Instagram. And we will see you next week.